afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Start thinking up your pet medical questions.
That's right. Veterinarian Dr. Carrie Donahue will be here later this hour. We'll let you know when it's time to call in.
But first, top of the news today.
I'm pushing for the sex offender registry. I feel like that's the most important.
After a toddler was sexually assaulted in Poynette, the offender isn't on the sex offender list. Catherine Merck has more on that.
Republican lawmakers in Tennessee have voted to expel a Democratic lawmaker from the Tennessee House of Representatives.
And a Madison man charged for a fatal crash on Schrader Road that killed a LaFollette High School student in January of 2022 has pleaded guilty. Let's take a look outside. It started out kind of chilly, but turned out to be a nice sunny day.
Perfect day to take a walk. That looks like Elver Park. Nice, I think it is. Oh, but maybe that's a lake.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe not, but that's a great walking path. Is it?
Brittingham Park, perhaps.
There we go. Yeah, that's where it is. Sorry, Greg.
There's Greg in the backyard.
Back here. Yeah, it is actually a better day today. We still got some breezy conditions out there, a little chilly, but overall much improvement to yesterday. But this is just the start of the good weather. Right now, you see the wind still 15 to 20 miles per hour out west, a little bit less than Madison. Our gusts have been near 30 to the north, but overall 25 to 30 afternoon. So it's been quite breezy out of the west, but less than yesterday. The good news is the last day we're going to see these strong westerly winds. In fact, tonight we won't see much at all. Today, temperatures got up to the upper 40s, near 50, about 5 to 10 degrees below what we should be this time of year. A little bit warmer as you go further south, but all in all, quite chilly today. The good news, like I said, temperatures a little bit warmer out west. That's going to give you a sign of what's going to be coming tomorrow. As you see towards Iowa and Minnesota, you're already starting to see temperatures bump up today 10 degrees. So that's just what we're going to see tomorrow going ahead in the future. So visible cloud track, there's no clouds to speak of, just a few cirrus overhead. Up to the north, that white, that's still the snowpack that's on the ground, but overall, pretty clear skies. As we see, temperatures will fall off tonight. The winds will decrease. Once we get past sunset, they'll probably fall below 10 miles per hour, and we'll drop back into the 30s probably by midnight. What's coming up is actually really good weather through the weekend, especially Easter Sunday. And beyond that, we'll probably see our first 70-degree day. I'll break all that down in the warm conditions a bit later in the broadcast.
Okay, I'll exhale a little bit.
Yes.
Greg, thank you. After a toddler was sexually assaulted in Poynette, the offender is not on the sex offender list. News 3 Investigates looked into why this happened and the complexities of child sex crimes.
Our Catherine Merck joins us in the studio to explain the 3-year-old mother's cry for further justice. Catherine?
Brianna Klein's daughter, Blake, is your typical 3-year-old girl. She would leave the child in the care of her beloved babysitter. One night, Blake told her mother a graphic story of a sexual assault by her babysitter's 17-year-old son. After taking the case to the court, the offender got a charge that didn't satisfy this mother.
My child has been trying to heal for longer than you're trying to put him in jail.
The News 3 Investigates team asked the legal experts about what happened here and the factors that caused this teenage offender to not appear on the list. Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, our investigation dives deep into the complex array of factors that drives justice in these types of cases and why ultimately the mother feels she's unsatisfied.
We'll see you at 6, Catherine. Thank you. A Madison man charged for a fatal crash on Schrader Road that killed the LaFollette High School student in January of last year has pleaded guilty to a hit-and-run charge as part of a plea deal. Court records show 42-year-old Cedarius Goodall pleaded guilty to a felony charge of hit-and-run involving a death during a plea hearing this morning. As part of the plea agreement, prosecutors dismissed additional charges of hit-and-run and homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. Goodall was charged for a January 22 crash on Schrader Road that killed 14-year-old Jeremiah Broomfield and hospitalized 2 others, including a 12-year-old boy. Republican lawmakers in Tennessee have expelled a Democratic lawmaker from the Tennessee House of Representatives. Votes remain on 2 more Democratic lawmakers.
They had accused the Democrats of disorderly conduct after they led chants from the House floor with gun control protesters days after a deadly school shooting in Tennessee. Skylar Henry reports.
With their arms raised, Democratic Representatives Justin Pearson, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Jones walked through a sea of supporters at the Tennessee State House. The Republican supermajority is preparing to vote to expel the 3 Democrats for leading a gun control protest on the House floor, just days after the deadly Nashville school shooting.
You, Representative Johnson, Representative Pearson, then began from the well shouting without recognition. Is that correct?
We began shouting after repeatedly being denied recognition.
The session began with Republicans introducing bills to address gun violence in schools, including adding armed officers to all schools.
We will pay for them with state dollars so that no community throughout this state has any excuse not to have armed security that is well trained.
The debate allowed the three Democrats to speak about the absence of gun control legislation.
Nowhere in this bill do I hear the word, or do I see the word, guns.
Representative Johnson is a former teacher who experienced a school shooting in 2008.
I just want to make sure that we're actually doing something different that's a solution, because I don't feel that with this piece of legislation.
The chamber gallery was filled with protesters holding signs. Outside, hundreds of students, teachers, and parents protested the expulsions.
All of Tennessee deserves representation, even the people you don't agree with.
Tennessee House rules allow for the appointment of interim representatives until the seats are filled in a special election. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And expulsions are very rare, both in Tennessee and in state legislative bodies around the country.
Only 2 other House members have ever been booted from the Tennessee chamber since the Civil War. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has announced its final decision to withdraw approval of McKenna, a drug meant to reduce the risk of preterm birth. McKenna was approved more than a decade ago. The FDA says the drug is not effective and the benefits of taking it do not outweigh the risks. Generic versions of the drug are also no longer approved. This means McKenna and its generics cannot lawfully be distributed in interstate commerce. Covis Pharma, the maker of the drug, said Tuesday it was moving to withdraw the medication from the market after the FDA said it is not effective.
A Janesville nonprofit that provides services to people with disabilities and disadvantages is opening a therapeutic sensory room. SSM Health is providing money to Can-Do Industries for the sensory room. The room creates a sense of calm and stimulates exploration and development, featuring stimulation boards, adult-sized beanbag chairs, and a solar projector for the ceiling. It helps those with sensory disorders or learning disabilities like autism or dementia.
And I think when we think about mental health, we often think about a therapist in a room with a patient. And instead, we wanted to get outside of the box a little bit for this. And so the sensory room, it's not a therapist sitting across a room while someone's sitting on a couch, but it's a beanbag, different lights and stimulation, and a calming space for folks, and that's mental health too.
Can-Do is now identifying clients who may benefit from using the sensory room.
An outstanding elementary school principal in Sun Prairie got a big surprise with a very special award this morning. Nikki Harkis of Westside Elementary in Sun Prairie was selected by the Association of Wisconsin School Administrators as the Wisconsin Elementary Principal of the Year. Mrs. Harkis, as the school calls her, was very appreciative after receiving the award.
It's probably one of the best feelings I've ever experienced. There's so much love in this building in general, and walking in and hearing the students yell, "Congratulations, Mrs. Harkis, we love you," is like really captures who we are as a school and as a community. So it was absolutely heartwarming and amazing.
Principal Harkis was joined at the surprise school assembly by the superintendent of the Sun Prairie School District and the executive director of the Association of Wisconsin School Administrators. Congratulations, Principal Harkis. The
Mrs.
kids
Harkis,
are very excited.
Mrs. Harkis, you deserve it. Yeah,
Well
those kids were
deserved.
screaming.
I know. What were they saying? We couldn't figure out what they were saying.
There was just congratulations, Mrs. Harkis, I think is what they were saying.
Yeah.
Well, if you picked up an Easter lily this year, it may have been grown just across the Wisconsin border.
When we come back, we'll visit Didier Greenhouses in Rockford. It's one of the biggest growers of Easter lilies in the Midwest. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
How's John? Oh, much better. That was quite a scare. Got us thinking about a lot of things, like life insurance. If something happened to either one of us, we'd really be in trouble. But where can we get coverage with John's health problems on a fixed income?
Go with the sure thing, Colonial Penn.
Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. You don't need a physical exam, and we won't ask about your health. You cannot be turned down. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
I don't know. What if the price goes up as we get older?
With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. That's because it comes with something you won't find in other policies, a lifetime rate lock. The rate you start with is the one you keep, guaranteed. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age, not this one. As long as you pay your premiums, it's yours for life. Call the number on your screen now, and we'll send you free information by mail. You have nothing to lose, because at Colonial Penn, your satisfaction is another sure thing. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance to help your family with funeral expenses and other bills you may leave behind, call for free information today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner just for calling.
Same time next week?
Sure thing.
Call 1-800-248-6940 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-248-6940. There's no obligation. 1-800-248-6940. Call now.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture at Wanakee Furniture ETC, the #1 Smith Brothers dealer in the nation. That's right, per square footage, we sell more Smith Brothers than anyone else. So let our design experts customize a look for you during the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Well, welcome back. This is good news. The tick season is starting soon.
This year, there's a new warning about a rise in reported cases of a disease that ticks can spread. One emerging tick-borne disease is called babesiosis. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say between 2011 and 2019, there was a significant rise in the number of cases reported in the U.S., primarily in the Northeast and here in the Midwest. Severity of symptoms varies, but tend to be flu-like and can include things like fever, sweats, loss of appetite, and fatigue.
Immunocompromised or don't have a functioning spleen, disease can become quite serious and can even result in death.
To protect yourself, practice the ABCs. A, avoid. Stay away from tall grasses and other areas in the woods where ticks are found. B is bug spray. The CDC recommends one containing DEET or picaridin, among other active ingredients. And C, cover up. Protective clothing can protect against tick bites.
Or just stay inside.
Don't do that.
Good news for potential home buyers. Mortgage rates fell for the 4th week in a row. That's according to data from Freddie Mac. The average 30-year fixed rate was just over 6.25%. That's down from 6.3% the week before. After hitting a high in November, rates started to trend down in 2023. They ticked up again in February after the Federal Reserve indicated more hikes to cool inflation. Freddie Mac says the U.S. is now entering the traditional spring home buying season, but low inventory is proving challenging for home buyers, especially first-timers.
The U.S. economy continues to cool. The Department of Labor reports first-time jobless claims have increased. It says 228,000 people applied for the benefits last week, and that's above economists' expectations of 200,000, according to the Labor Department. Weekly job Jobless claims are now hovering around pre-pandemic levels.
Stocks closed higher on that news, ending a shortened trading week. The Dow Industrials closed up 2.5 points. The Nasdaq added 91. The S&P 500 gained 14. Again, the markets are closed tomorrow for Good Friday. If you ever wondered how the date of Easter is determined, it's the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox, or the beginning of spring.
Right. So Easter lilies that we have right here, a beautiful one, are a symbol of the season. But for growers, getting them to flower on time is a moving target every year. We visited one of the largest growers in our area, Didier Greenhouses in Rockford, where we learned timing is everything. Spring is in full bloom at Didier Greenhouses. The tulips, hydrangeas, pansies, and never-ending rows of potted plants are all waiting to grace the garden. But at this time of the year, the star of the show is the trumpet-shaped Easter lily, a symbol of resurrection and renewal. The Didier family has been growing them here for over 70 years.
My grandpa started it back in the 1947, 46. He had a florist downtown, and they started the greenhouse to grow cut flowers for the florist. Then my uncle and the 5 brothers and the 2 sisters and another brother worked at the florist. So it's been in our family for a long time.
How busy is the Easter season for you?
It's pretty busy because it happens all in a short 2-week window, so it's all compressed. So we got like over about 250 customers, wholesale and retail, and everybody wants their stuff at the same time.
And well, and the tricky thing about Easter is the date changes every year.
Yes.
So how do you know when these lilies will be ready to bloom at Easter time?
I pretty much order the bulbs in the summertime in July. We get our shipment, depending on Easter, around the end of October. So we plant them then. We cool them for 40 days. You don't want to overcool them, you don't want to undercool them. Then you bring them out after, we try to bring them out after Christmas, after the poinsettias are gone, because that's when we got room. Then you count how many leaves are left to unfold.
Okay.
And then you can go by a little chart that they send and say, okay, you need to run the temperature at 68 to make this date.
Wow. And do you always hit the mark?
Well, there's always some that are behind and there's always some that are ahead. But overall, we'd probably make 95% of them. Yeah. The difficult part is staging it for Easter. So we have like our hot tent over there that we push lilies that are a little bit tighter so we can make it on Easter.
So you're warming it up.
Warming it up.
Forcing the flowers
to come quicker.
To bloom.
Right. And then we have huge coolers that we put the ones that came early in too.
So if you're buying an Easter lily,
right,
what do you want to be looking for?
Well, you want to make sure it's nice and healthy and green and the leaves go down. You want to make sure you got a good bud count, because the more buds, the more flowers you're going to get.
Okay.
So they'll last longer that way.
How long do the flowers last?
A lot depends on temperature. So if it's warmer, it's going to only last maybe a week or 2. If it's cool, you can have one like at 45 or whatever for probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Where will all of these lilies go?
I'd say most of our lilies nowadays go to a florist. Then they sell them to the churches, their local churches.
And stores. And your lilies go all over the state.
Yes, we go from Madison, Wisconsin. We go over to Dubuque, Quad Cities, Bloomington, Chicago. So we cover a pretty large radius.
Do you love Easter or do you dread Easter?
It's a love-hate relationship. It's, I mean, it's a nice time and all that, but it's a lot of headaches because you got to hit that window. We're in the business to bring happiness. That's my motto here, is we grow plants to bring peace and happiness to customers.
And they certainly do. The bulbs, by the way, for almost all of the Easter lilies in the United States all come from the same small region in Oregon in the Pacific Northwest. Didier Greenhouses is on West State Street in Rockford. For more information on their hours and the shop, go to didiergreenhouses.com. And Andy said, you see the little, well, we took them out, but the stamens,
yep.
If you pull those out, it will help the flower last longer. They have pollen on them.
Oh, and it gets all over your clothes or your cat.
So
or
how do you do it? With a paper towel?
Well, I do it, but I was just reading you should take like a pipe cleaner and bend it over and then just pull it off.
Oh, that's a good tip. Yeah. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is the one who told us to do that. And they smell
And I
great.
plant them in the ground when they're done.
Do you really?
And they come back year after year.
I know, they're beautiful. Yeah. Only this time of the year, so enjoy them. They'll be gone soon.
Still to come at 4, it could be a game changer when it comes to the battle against opioid overdoses.
Narcan is now available over the counter. We'll get reaction from local first responders coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
If your house was cold this winter, it's going to be hot this summer. And now's the time to get your home more energy efficient. It's National Insulation Month, and we're celebrating by giving you savings of $2,000. And just in time before you get those big summer electric bills. Spring's booking quickly, so don't wait to insulate. Call now and save up to $2,000 during National Insulation Month.
USA Insulation.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Well, take a look at this. A calf with unique black and white markings that appear as a smiley face has quickly become a public favorite in Australia. The Holstein bull calf's breeders nicknamed him Happy when they discovered the smiley face markings on his side. The couple decided to sell the 1-month-old calf to Farm World, where Happy will act as a mascot for Farm World, which is an agricultural and farming event, and will live out the rest of his life on site at Larner Park in Victoria.
Oh, that's great. I love it. The White House is getting excited to share this news. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will debut a new Easter Bunny mascot at the White House's annual egg roll. It's happening on Monday. For the second year in a row, the theme is egg-ucation. To this day, the egg roll remains one of the only times of the year the White House South Lawn is open to the public. 30,000 visitors are expected.
But we don't know what the new mascot's going to look like.
No, you have to wait till Monday.
Well,
yes.
There you go. I assume those are plastic eggs, not real eggs?
I don't know. Who knows? When my son was little, I signed up to get on the White House Easter egg roll, but I was never selected. It's a lottery system.
Well, it's still time.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
He's what, 20?
Yeah, 23.
Well, that's
Why not?
Why not? We're celebrating this weather, I'll tell you that.
You will be next week, definitely, for all the people that like the warm temperatures, even overnight temperatures in the 50s. So it definitely will feel like spring. We might even see an 80, so there's a possibility of that. So it's going to be quite a nice long stretch of weather that I think we really enjoy and deserve.
We've earned it, as they say.
Yeah, I'll break all that down after the break.
Oh no, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic, we're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay, just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap back.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, that's the BMO effect.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Made with American biofuels, E15 saves drivers money, reduces emissions, and creates jobs in rural communities. Last year, when gas prices were spiking, President Biden extended summer sales of E15 and saved drivers nearly $1 per gallon in some areas. We can't afford higher gas prices this summer. We need the Biden administration to act again. Tell Senator Baldwin that President Biden must protect access to E15 and extend savings at the pump.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it.
4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint for certain.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Still is that time of season for river conditions, too, that are kind of beginning to rise. But right now, we haven't seen too many issues. The only flood warning right now is for the Wisconsin River near Portage, which could get up to moderate, just barely touching moderate. Obviously, there's a lot more snow up to the way for the Wisconsin River to have a problem. But otherwise, the Kickapoo and Rock River should stay within its banks right now. Particularly, there's not much precipitation for the next day. But if you're out and about, the Wisconsin River definitely will have to be watched because it should stay fairly high with all the snowpack that we have up to the north yet feeding into it. Get north of Marshall, that's where the snowpack remains. It's quite extensive too up there with pretty good frost depth. So I think that will continue to feed it. Otherwise, no issues with the snow or the rivers right now beyond that. For the next day, like I said, through this weekend, we're looking at 50s tomorrow, which is about seasonal level. We should get up into the 60s Saturday and Sunday, which should be fairly mild. Lighter winds. We won't be dealing with the strong westerly winds that we've had the last couple of days. Some clouds, probably Sunday, maybe a shower Sunday night. A weak system may come through. It's not going to really do much. In fact, the temperatures behind it will actually be warmer. Monday through Thursday next, this whole week looks like to be 70s, maybe 80 a possibility. Overnight lows in the 50s. That actually could be some record overnight lows, being how warm it could be, mid to upper 50s by some point. Breezy, but looks like dry. Even through now Friday, looks like we might see dry conditions with a pattern that's going to continue. For tonight, we're going to see generally more clouds tonight. We'll see temperatures once again drop back down as you wake up into the upper 20s, near 30. It's pretty similar to what we saw last night with a few passing clouds. Tomorrow, lighter winds. A few more high clouds pushing across the area. The winds will begin to turn in the afternoon. Not be too strong, but you see low to mid 50s, probably a few 60s out there too towards the southwest corner tomorrow afternoon. So kind of right where we should be this time of year. But that's just the start. Friday night we'll have more cloud cover, actually a warm front that's going to try to lift north of the area. No precipitation with this, but we should see more clouds and more wind from the south, and that'll keep our temperatures up to the mid to upper 30s as you wake up Saturday morning, which means Saturday should be a nice condition. Variable cloudiness, on and off cloud cover, but everyone should then finally get into the 60s for Saturday afternoon. And if you go into Sunday, Easter morning, looks like temperatures will still be fairly mild, low to mid 40s because of the cloud cover. We have a weak little system, like I mentioned, that'll come through Sunday, but should start up low to mid 40s, and they'll set for a nice, comfortable mid-60s day for your Easter for all the areas. So the pattern next week really is just going to continue to feature everything to the north and then everything to the south. So we're in the split flow. As you can see, the jet stream remains that way all the way through Wednesday. Even Thursday and Friday, it's still split, which keeps us dry and even warm. And even the chances coming up this weekend, as you see in the 10-day, are really not that great towards next week. So overall, we should see temperatures get into the mid to upper 70s. Once again, an 80 is definitely possible for some areas. Rain chances for next week and don't look that impressive, but will not be severe at all either. So other than that, you really can't say much for this extended. It's quite going to be a nice dry stretch. I think with those 50s, you'll definitely see things start to pop in the ground. But don't remember, the last freeze we usually have or frost is about early May, so don't.
Right.
Still be careful out there. You may want to jump the gun a little bit, but sometimes it can happen. But it's going to be a nice dry stretch, so I know field work will probably start picking up pretty quickly.
I noticed the grass starting to get green too.
It's gonna pop when you get 50 degrees overnight.
All that lightning too puts all the nitrogen in the air.
Well, all the moisture. I mean, we have a lot. The soil moisture is real high right now, so
get ready.
We'll be mowing the grass pretty quick.
Get ready.
So good. All right.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
The FDA's approval of the over-the-counter naloxone, or Narcan, could be a game changer in the fight against opioid overdoses.
The nasal spray can reverse the effect of opioids, including street drugs like heroin, prescription pills, and fentanyl, which is driving up overdoses in the U.S.
First responders use Narcan, and they say increasing access is an important step. Brady Mallory tells us why. Brady?
Addiction doesn't discriminate, and maybe it's already affected you or your loved ones out there. I'm talking with a member of Madison's overdose response team and a national advocate fighting for change because she knows the tragedy of overdose all too well.
It's small enough to fit in a pocket.
And it's fairly, I guess, user-friendly.
And Officer Tom Coyne is using Narcan more and more.
This is a single-dose application of it, so you'd go in one nostril or the other.
Coyne is part of the Madison Area Addiction Recovery Initiative, a team that tries to save individuals who are overdosing. It often uses Narcan, and Coyne says getting it into the hands of more individuals only helps the mission.
It's removed some of those barriers for people in the community that are suffering from either have had an opioid overdose or are living an active addiction.
Coyne says fentanyl is the main factor behind overdoses in the city.
Just expect there to be fentanyl in everything at this point because we're seeing it in everything at this point.
The Wisconsin Department of Health says fentanyl overdose deaths statewide grew by 97% from 2019 to 2021. Nationally, more than 107,000 Americans died in 2021 due to overdose, the highest tally in U.S. history. According to the latest data from the CDC, 66% of those were due to synthetic opioids, like fentanyl.
This is a huge public health epidemic. It's a huge public health crisis.
National advocate Angela Kennecke says the rising number of overdoses is boosting the urgency to make Narcan more available.
And I think it's just like any other safety tool we have out there, like an EpiPen or a defibrillator. We just need to make sure that we get Narcan in as many homes as possible.
Kennecke's mission is to end the stigma toward addiction and help people. She spent much of her career in front of the camera as an Emmy-winning news anchor in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Behind the scenes, though, tragedy hit home.
My 21-year-old daughter, Emily, died of fentanyl poisoning in 2018, and she was very young. She didn't know what she was taking. She didn't intend to die.
Since then, Kenneke has shared her daughter's story, including on national shows like CBS Mornings.
I have to talk about it. I have an obligation to talk about it.
And even at the Dolby Theater, where the Oscars are held every year, she's also created Emily's Hope, a foundation named after her daughter that promotes addiction education and resources for treatment and recovery.
There's also a lot of shame and stigma that goes along with the disease of addiction, or even going up to a pharmacy and asking for Narcan. So being able to just walk in and buy this at a grocery store, a drugstore, or wherever is going to reduce that shame and stigma.
Over-the-counter Narcan is expected in stores late this summer. Coyne says for something that's small enough to fit in your pocket, its ability to make a difference is huge.
As a community, we've been playing catch up with the opioid crisis, and I think this gives us a tool to gain some ground.
Kenneke is already worried about the cost of over-the-counter naloxone or Narcan being too expensive. High demand for naloxone led to companies raising its price 500% over a 4-year period, starting in 2014. So by 2018, the out-of-pocket cost for naloxone for the uninsured was $250 versus $18 for insured people. Kenneke hopes competition between the drug companies will keep it affordable.
And unfortunately, people that need it probably may not have insurance.
Right. So this over-the-counter thing, it's huge. So if we could, if the advocates and lobbyists could work to drive that price down, that could help a lot more people.
It's so brave of her to share this story everywhere she can after what she went through with her daughter. It could potentially save some lives and help other families.
Her foundation has done a lot of good work in that state and also nationally, and we have that information under the story on the website as well.
Keeping your daughter's memory alive.
Yes, yeah.
Great story, Brady. Thank you.
Coming up next year on Live Before, we take a trip down memory lane back to 1983 to see some giant eggs.
Well, it's Easter weekend. We have to do that. And then next hour at 5, there's an employee shortage at county jails across Wisconsin. Our Braden Ross will tell us more coming up at 5.
My experience going to ortho teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
Get 11% off your bathroom projects at Menards. Max has more than 1,000 shower doors, bathtubs, and showers to add luxury and style to your life. Get a Saks freestanding bathtub for $699.98 after rebate. Finish your renovation with a Mica shower faucet. This all-in-one faucet includes a rainfall and handheld shower head, giving you a spa-like experience. Now just $199.97 after 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Stanley Steamer loves Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Paul Ashik, local owner of Stanley Steamer here in Madison. We've been proudly cleaning your homes and businesses for over 30 years and will continue to keep your carpet, upholstery, area rugs, hard floors, and air ducts clean for many more. We strive to provide the best quality in both the services we provide and the equipment we use. That's why you've trusted us to keep Madison and southwestern Wisconsin homes cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful place to live. Call and book a cleaning today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Creating family memories is what Maple Leaf Landscaping is all about. We design and build outdoor spaces that bring people together. Landscaped spaces for any size family. Functional, beautiful, a place everyone will enjoy. And it all starts with a free visit at your home by one of our landscape experts. So call Maple Leaf Landscaping today and have us create an outdoor living space for your home.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. It means we're committed to seeking justice for those injured by someone else's negligence. It means standing up to the insurance company, helping you with your medical bills, and getting you fully compensated for lost time at work. Have questions? When you contact Lawton Cates, there's no charge for our initial consultation, and there's never a fee until we deliver the results you deserve. At Lawton Cates, your life counts. Call today.
My experience going to ortho teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
Tonight at 5, Governor Evers takes action to address the dire shortage of jail staff in Wisconsin. But will offering more benefits to non-law enforcement jailers be enough to fill the gap? Sheriff Calvin Barrett weighs in.
The winds will die down tonight and milder weather will arrive for the Easter weekend. Even warmer weather is expected for much of next week with little in the way of any chance for rain. At 5, I'll let you know how mild the weather will get for next week.
And ahead at 6, a Poinette mother is distraught over why a man convicted of sexually assaulting her toddler didn't make the sex offender registry. Tonight at 6.
Wow, that's a great shot, given the weather satellite has been. The Windy City, my kind of town, Chicago.
51 degrees and sunny this afternoon.
Oh, that's great. I got to get back down there.
Yes.
It's been a while.
I agree.
Easter, of course, is this weekend, and it wouldn't be Easter without Easter eggs. Regular, large, jumbo eggs come in all sizes.
But back in 1983, Mark found an egg farmer in Adams County who redefined egg size. What's beyond jumbo? We find out in this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
Gene Vandemeyer, son Keith, and fiancée Evelyn Stritter have been raising chickens for a couple of years. Nothing too exciting in that. But lately, things have changed in the hen house. Something has stirred things up a bit. The excitement is one hen or another has been laying some extra large eggs. Yes, we're talking big eggs here. Besides the brown and beige and sometimes purple eggs that come out of this coop, every few days Gene finds one of these whoppers. He's not sure what's egging his hens on to produce these. Understand, he's no expert, but lay them they do. Now, just for the skeptics out there, you eggheads, it was back to the house for verification. Gene has a scale to measure them. A small egg comes in about 1.8 ounces. An extra large, like this one, tips the scales at about 2.7 ounces. Not bad. But the extra large one, it weighs in at 4.5 ounces, some 6 3/4 inches in diameter. Now, all of Gene's eggs aren't in this one egg. There are more enormous eggs. In fact, they're quite common around here.
This isn't a one-shot deal, this big egg.
No.
How many of these have you gotten?
Yeah, we got them regular, and then she just started laying them again. But 2-3 a week last fall, you know.
Gene's not sure which hen or hens are laying these big eggs, but it's enough to make the whole coop proud. It's something to crow about. Mark Kane, News 3, traveling in Adams County.
That would be a whole omelet, that one.
I was just going to say, which one of it is? Which one is it? They don't know.
That'd be easy to find if you're Easter egg hunting.
That's true. That's true.
Well, do you have an ailing kitty or pup? Now's your chance to talk to a veterinarian for free.
Pick up the phone and call now to talk to veterinarian Carrie Donahue. The number 608-270-9933. We'll get to your questions when Live at 4 continues.
Great Easter weekend with a massive 3-day savings event at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Shop Friday, Saturday, and Monday for rock-bottom prices on top brand appliances, plus low monthly payment options and free delivery in 3 days or less at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
How's John?
Oh, much better.
That was quite a scare.
Got us thinking about a lot of things, like life insurance. If something happened to either one of us, we'd really be in trouble. But where can we get coverage with John's health problems on a fixed income?
Go with the sure thing, Colonial Penn.
Friends have been telling friends about Colonial Penn Guaranteed Acceptance Whole Life Insurance for more than 50 years, and with good reason. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, it's a sure thing. Your acceptance is guaranteed because full benefits are not paid in the first 2 years. You don't need a physical exam, and we won't ask about your health. You cannot be turned down. And the price? Options start at $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
I don't know. What if the price goes up as we get older?
With Colonial Penn, your rate is another sure thing. It will never increase. That's because it comes with something you won't find in other policies, a lifetime rate lock. The rate you start with is the one you keep, guaranteed. And you should know this coverage can last a lifetime. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age, not this one. As long as you pay your premiums, it's yours for life. Call the number on your screen now, and we'll send you free information by mail. You have nothing to lose, because at Colonial Penn, Your satisfaction is another sure thing. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance to help your family with funeral expenses and other bills you may leave behind, call for free information today. There's no obligation, and you'll receive a free beneficiary planner just for calling.
Same time next week? Sure thing.
Call 1-800-248-6940 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-248-6940. There's no obligation. 1-800-248-6940. Call now.
Could you keep it down? Oh, hey, sorry. I can't stop these kids from rocking, but I can help you replace all this. Rock on! With free installation on Felco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home. This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Celebrate Easter weekend with a massive 3-day savings event at Ashley. Shop Friday, Saturday, and Monday for rock bottom prices and bonus discounts on closeout items. Plus low monthly payment options and free delivery in 3 days or less. All at Ashley.
Yeah, we got a few incidents to speak of really towards Agricultural Drive. A disabled vehicles kind of started bottling up things near Stoughton Road on the Beltway. I-3990, there's also was an incident here further near the ramp of the US 1218 that was in the left shoulder. That's backed up traffic too. Otherwise, no other crashes to speak of as you go west, east, south, or north. Just got some slowdowns. Otherwise, good travel, good weather, and warmer conditions tomorrow, you guys.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Greg. It's time to get your pet questions answered live.
The number to call is 608-270-9933. We have 3 lines open if you have a question for Dr. Carrie Donahue from Full Circle Holistic Veterinary Care. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you.
You too.
We're just celebrating the beauty of Easter lilies, but if you have a cat,
right,
you shouldn't probably have one.
You really should not have a lily in the house if you have a cat because they're very toxic to cats. Any part of the lily, the flowers, the stem, the leaves, even if they're in water and the cat drinks the water, that can be toxic, causes kidney failure, and unfortunately it can be fatal, so it is an emergency. If you have a cat that might have been exposed to a lily, calling the emergency clinic.
I mean, you could put them up on a shelf, but the cats, you know, they get everywhere.
They get up there.
Don't know.
Yeah. So,
That's
good advice.
Very good to know, yeah. Let's go ahead and get to the phones, and we'll start with Janet in Reeseville. Hi, Janet. What's your question?
I need to know, my husband and I have a Shih Tzu. She's going to be 11 years old, and she's been very naughty. We could leave her outside, and half hour later, she wet on the carpet.
Or can you help with this question, right?
As a Shih Tzu owner, yeah, they're stubborn.
Yes,
they're a stubborn breed.
Stubborn. And sometimes you just don't know why they might start to do something like that, if it is a behavioral thing strictly, or if it's the sign of a medical issue. So if it is urination in an inappropriate place, the place to start, I would say, is checking a urine sample with your veterinarian and just making sure that there's no issue, that there is nothing wrong.
So she's outside for a half hour and doesn't pee and comes in the house and pees.
Yeah.
Get some pads too.
Right? Yep.
Let's go to Ann in Sun Prairie. Hi, Ann. What's your question?
Yes, I have a Shih Tzu Bichon, and I want to know if there's anything you can do medically for their tear staining. I've used that wash all the time.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, not really a whole lot that you can do besides what you have been doing and keeping that clean and washing. That when the eyes start to tear, once it reaches the air and interacts with the bacteria, then it turns that dark color. One thing that I have had a little bit of success with is using probiotics. Oh. So adding probiotics in with the food, and then that kind of changes the flora of the tears that are coming out. So that might make a difference.
And just put it right in the food.
Right in with the
It's a
food.
little powder. I've tried that too.
Okay.
It's Shih Tzu owner. All right, thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling.
We're going to go to John in Columbus. Hi, John. What's your question? John, you there?
What line are you on? Yeah, there you go.
John.
I have a cat that has a UTI infection.
Okay. Yeah. You know, in talking to your veterinarian about getting treatment for that, if it is an infection, your cat probably needs antibiotics. The nice thing as far as antibiotics go, there is an injectable that can be given that's used a lot for urinary tract infections. So that might be something to look into.
And it's pretty common with cats.
It is common with cats. Infections, even just inflammation, crystals, stones, all of those things that can affect them.
All right.
All right, let's go to Kate in Madison. Hi, Kate. What's your question?
Hi. I have a long-haired cat, and sometimes when I brush her, it seems like she has dandruff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if there's anything I can add to her food that might prevent that.
Yeah, absolutely. I usually recommend adding in a fish oil supplement or an omega-3 fatty acid. And you can find those easily through Chewy.com, through your pet store, or even through your veterinarian to find a fish oil that you can give to your cat. And that really makes a difference with a dry skin. Of course, coming out of winter, it's really dry anyway, so a lot of cats are showing that just because.
So human fish oil may be not appropriate. Cat fish oil.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, just so you can get the appropriate dosing.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go to Steve in Stoughton. Hi, Steve. What's your question?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Dr. Carey. We have a kitty here. She was feral, and she likes to spend time with us. But when it comes to getting her in a pet carrier, we can't do it. She hides. We won't see her for a day or so.
She knows.
Seems to know.
She knows, yeah. They always know.
I know. They always know, and you probably tried many different things, putting her favorite food or something that's really tasty in there for her, just leaving it out all the time so your cat gets used to it being around, and just making it as nice of a space as you can, but maybe even trying a different carrier. Just take that one away and try something else, and it might be a little bit easier. They make many different kinds now with kind of like backpacks and different openings that are a lot easier to get cats into.
So, yeah, Matt, that's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
She knows that one.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you all for calling. Carrie, thank you.
Great to see you, Carrie.
We'll see you next month.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
It's spring break at Bob's, and I'm introducing my biggest, bestest backyard collection ever. Soak up the sun in outdoor furniture that comes with comfort, quality, and of course, my everyday low prices. You deserve a break. Spring break at Bob's.
Outlets at the Dells, an attraction not to be missed. With over 60 of the world's biggest brands, we thrill family vacationers, trendsetters, and all who love a smoking hot discount. We are all about the thrill of the deal, the joy of finding the thing you forgot to pack, the swimsuit that's the hit of the park, the dress that makes you walk with swagger, and the discounts that no one else can touch. Save even more with 25% off and get a free Outlets gift card. Visit outletsatthedells.com for coupon and details.
For back pain, I've always been a take two and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salon Pass. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
Habush attorneys are the best of what a personal injury attorney is about.
To get the most money for your case, you need to have a law firm that's unrelenting.
We will fight with all that we have in person power, in knowledge and experience to bring about the result they deserve.
I can't give them their life back how it was, but I can give them the financial compensation to get their life back on track.
It's spring break at Bob's Discount Furniture, and I've got fresh new dining furniture that will make you a hosting hero. My collections serve major style, come in dining and counter heights, and with my everyday low prices, complete sets start at just $5.99.
Tonight at 5, Governor Evers takes action to address the dire shortage of jail staff in Wisconsin, but will offering more benefits to non-law enforcement jailers be enough to fill the gap? Sheriff Calvin Barrett weighs in. That's coming up next at 5.
A toddler sexually assaulted and a Poynette mother crying out for justice.
I'm terrified to see his name again next to another little girl's name.
In a News 3 Now investigation, Catherine Merck looks into why the perpetrator didn't make the sex offender registry. Tonight at 6.
And we're looking at not chilly tomorrow, and then a mild and warm stretch of weather from Easter weekend all the way through next week with 70s likely. And the good news is no precipitation really until next Friday at the earliest.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhafels. Beauty Rest mattresses are assembled in Wisconsin, and right now queens start at just $4.99. Or upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhafels cash. Beauty Rest Black Queen mattresses start at just $49 per month when you use Steinhafels' special 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online today at steinhafels.com.
The Masters is this weekend. I'm wearing my Masters
Yes,
green
you
jacket today. In today's final touch, remember the mix-up with an invitation to attend the Masters?
The invite to golfer Scott Stallings was sent to Atlanta realtor Scott Stallings. Both Scott Stallings were at the Masters in Georgia this morning. They're not related. They just share the exact same name. Now, he's attending as a gift from the PGA after Atlanta Scott contacted the golf pro Scott and told him about the mix-up. As for golfer Scott, he's a 3-time PGA Tour winner, competing on the sacred Augusta National Golf Course for the 3rd time in his career. So for both Scotts, being at the Masters, whether watching or playing, is a trip of a lifetime. And get this, both their wives are named Jenny.
That's great.
Masters all weekend on CBS. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 now at 5 starts right now.